Hello guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're gonna go over all of the new characters pool plan. Okay, it's been a while, and we saw a pretty decent shift in terms of what Bluepock kind of wants us to pull for, and the direction the game is going in terms of which characters are being released. There is a little bit of a pattern, general pattern. And this can help us because we are slowly catching up to CN, if you didn't notice. And eventually we'll catch up, right? And we'll lose the foresight that we now have. So we should learn right now, or as soon as possible, what is the pattern that they're trying to do and somewhat expected in the future. So for now, it's been a while since we've done one of these videos. So today I'm gonna try my best to do it, the new one, the updated one. So after the poison is done, almost after the follow-up attack is done, what is happening now? Who is coming up now? What should you pull for or should go for in this new era? Okay, so I mentioned that Bluepock looks like they want to do a different type of approach in terms of character release, and that is team-oriented type of approach, which is like they're going to release a character and then eventually they're going to release the filling units for that core character. Or if we already have the core character, we're going to get the filling units for that type of team, right? So for example, we got Flutter Page, and then after Flutter Page, the patch after, we got the healer for the follow-up attack team. So this technically concludes the follow-up attack team, and with this one you can see the pattern. Now we start from 2.4 because 2.4 still has to release in global. It's gonna do that soon, and we're gonna start with Barcarola. Now Barcarola team has been a question mark for a little bit, the Impromptu, because we got Barcarola and then immediately got Voyager, Euphoria, and Voyager, Euphoria, and Barcarola were the core, still are, the core characters of Impromptu. Then we got Fatutu, but first, Barcarola, which is the Impromptu, is one of the options that you can have by look for pulling. You can go for the Impromptu team. If you like the style, or if you like the characters, if you like the style of the gameplay, like how it works, and Impromptu how it works, for all the extra information, refer to the characters guide. Well, you will learn what Impromptu is and how it works, or go check my other videos talking about Impromptu. So I will not be too deep in this because we're talking about pulls, okay? Now, when it comes about pulling, you are going to wait a little bit after getting Barcarola and Voyager until you get to Aleph. Aleph is 2 patch after, and it's going to be almost out in CN, but it's going to come out after 2 full patches because it's phase 2 of 2.6. But Aleph is another one that does stuff with Impromptu, so you want him as well if you're making your Impromptu team. Now, there is a little bit of a question mark in terms of who are you going to use in this team. Can you slot out Voyager if you don't have to use her ult to focus one single guy? Maybe there is only one single guy. Maybe you don't need all of it. Maybe you don't need Voyager. There's a lot of testing that there's still we have to do for Impromptu because Aleph is not out yet. We don't know his portrait, so we're gonna have to see exactly who's the best team. But in terms of what these characters do, Impromptu so far is going to be Barcarola, Voyager, and Aleph. So as I mentioned before, you need to choose, more or less, at least after 2.4 in my opinion, you have to choose who to pull for, and the others you kind of have to skip, especially if you're free to play. That's how the vibe is starting to become in reverse. They want you to focus on one specific team and do that. The other characters, if you can afford it, maybe you get lucky, then you pull them, otherwise you just skip, right? You can't just be free to play and spend nothing, and just by playing the game you get like all of the characters, because it's gonna be almost impossible. One time you're gonna fail and you're gonna miss an important characters. important character. So a plus for this whole thing is that most likely whenever we catch up to CN, we're gonna stop having those weird banners that we've had so far. So we might just have normal reruns like CN does, and will make easier for people to skip a certain character or current character, because you know that they're just gonna rerun normally later, and you can just get them back when they come back. Right now in global, you're kind of scared because you don't know if but I don't want to skip Fatutu. What if she comes back with in a double banner with Kakani or something, or Mercuria? What am I gonna do then, right? What I don't want to fail, so I'm gonna pull it right now. So hopefully, I would assume that these banners will never come back after the multi banners. They'll never come back after we catch up to CN. Moving on, obviously, Fatutu, if you are collecting, if you're doing the follow-up attack team, and because you like it, or because it's strong, or because it's meta, whatever reason, obviously after you picked up Flutter Page, you kind of want to pick up Fatutu, and not only for the follow-up attack team, but because Fatutu is just like a really good healer. If you are okay with losing the debuff that increases the damage the follow-up is doing to the enemy, she's still pretty good, because she's still gonna do the throwing and retrieval of the shells, so you are still gonna heal a lot. So maybe those people that don't have Vila, or don't want to use Vila, or their Vila is used somewhere else, maybe in Limbo, she's already taken. You can use Fatutu really easily as just a normal healer. So there's a little bit more value on this character, like besides the follow-up attack team, which you could consider for picking her up. Now, a lot of people don't like Impromptu, so I feel like majority of the people are gonna go for Fatutu, especially because of follow-up attack team. But that's what I think about the characters. I think that's a pretty good choice for pulling. Okay, after 2.4, we get into the limited patch. Now, this limited patch has been a big surprise in terms of like how they handled it. It looks like they're not going too hard on the limited, at least this time. And so Liang Yue is a character, yes, it's a limited character. You won't see her again for at least one more year. And that was confirmed by the rerun of Chu, because it's been a year since Chu was released. And it's confirmed that she's rerunning. So at least we have the notion that eventually they will rerun, at least 1 year after their release. They will rerun in conjunction with another limited banner, which could be annoying for some people, but if you just want one of the others, or maybe if you missed someone like Lucy, for example, you really wanted Lucy, she will come back, so maybe you will ignore Liang Yue to get whoever is rerunning, if that one character is you want more, right? But in terms of Liang Yue is not a bad character, but the problem is that she was released on their base version, which is P0, with a lot of like hiccups, let's say. And these hiccups are just duration of the ultimate compared to what the tiger needs to do. How many talents do you need to trigger the attack? How many AP do you have, which is not the same number as the number of talents. This area that you cannot change, like the red and green area, can have its own faults. It sometimes is too small, right? And maybe you don't want to cast the cards there. Maybe you don't have enough AP. Her ultimate doesn't last as much. You don't start with the ultimates. You need to work towards the ultimate, and outside of the ultimate, you're not doing that big of a help for your team. So it's still a character that has some value. We'll talk about it more whenever we make the guide, like whenever I make the guide for her. But that said, it's a character that you can obviously pick up, at least one copy. It gets fixed on P1 a little bit, especially for the uptime and the ease of use. And even if you can get P2 somehow, maybe you get lucky, you get triple. P2 even fixes it even more, because now you will start with the ultimate up, in the sense that you're going to start with 5 Moxie, you get the ultimate, and then you can immediately go into it. And now you have also P1, obviously, so everything is going to flow better. You're going to be able to get the talents and stuff. So now in terms of pooling, Liang Yue, obviously there is always a little bit of a value for pulling a limited character, right? But you could consider not pulling. A lot of people are considered not pulling because there's not that big of a. It's not this character is not that big of a deal. You can use someone else. Where are you going to use her on? Some people were saying like, oh, you can use it with Noire, or some people were saying no, you can't use it with Noire. You can use her with the follow-up attack team. Okay, but the follow-up attack team needs a little more of a main DPS if you can, right? Like maybe Chu. And also we got the Euphoria at the same time, which includes Pickles, and Pickles Euphoria is really, really good, especially for a main DPS that is supporting, that is going to be follow-up attack. So in this case, considering the fact that we got at this almost at the same time Chunian, Rerun, and Pickles, a lot of people are going for Chunian, and Pickles. If maybe you have already Pickles, you don't have to worry about the banner and just get him to Euphoria and then use your Chu, or maybe pull Chu if you didn't have her, because some people some players weren't playing in 1.6, obviously. Now you will have the chance to get her back and form this like really good tag team for the follow-up attack team, or whatever you want to do. But those are pretty good options for the follow-up, including Pickles. So a lot of people are saying like, okay, so this is done, this is for this guy is for this team. Where is Liang Yue going for? It's a little bit of too much of a jack of all trades, instead of like, okay, it clearly she's for, right? Now I will be picking one copy because it's a limited character, maybe two, we'll see. But obviously it's going to be, I'm probably going to play her with the follow-up attack team anyway. But you can put her anywhere, because she gets +1 incantation on the red, and +1 duration on the blue, on the green. They fuse together if you don't have many cards on the areas. If you don't have many cards on your hand, they're gonna overlap. And even if you have P1, it's gonna overlap even more because the area is now 4 instead of 3. So there's some bigger overlap, and that card in the overlap is gonna have +1/+1 from both. The target is actually pretty cool. You're doing a decent amount of damage. So maybe I'll just use it anyway, but it's not the intended only sole purpose. You can use her anywhere, right? But with this variety, it's a little too much, to the point that people are doing like, okay, but why would I pull her? I have this, right? For whatever team, you have the dedicated character, so you know what I mean? And then after Liang Yue, we also got, by the way, Anan Euphoria, which is going to make her double down on a little bit of support plus incantation, like real incantation +1. And she's also going to apply randomly negative statuses. So these negative statuses are going to help the next character coming after, well, in phase 2 is going to be up at the same time, because as usual the limited banner goes for the whole patch. The next character is going to be Noire, and Noire is a little bit of in a weird spot at the moment. I feel like we might need new characters to double down on Noire's kit, because Noire is the character, if you didn't know, she works on the enemy having every enemy, or at least the enemy that you're fighting, if it's one, as many debuffs as possible, negative statuses as possible, up to a maximum of 5. At that point, you get the max multiplier, extra multiplier on the ultimate, and then the meme of the character is that she can, if you have enough of their buffs, she can do the ultimate multiple times, and there is a chance for you to do the ultimate up to 3 times a P0, and even more if you get her portraits. And the characters like they want to play with Noire are, besides other options, you can also use Anan Euphoria, which is going to help. You can also use Loggerhead, which comes out in this same patch. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in both. Actually, no, maybe not in both, but you can get a Loggerhead from Liang Yue banner, or buy her if you do like some pulls, enough pulls, you can buy her from the limited shop. However, like, at least you know how it works, okay? If you happen to get Loggerhead, you can also use Loggerhead. So, but there's not perfect team set in stone. You also have Bicorn that could be functioning as a replacement for Noire. And you know why the worst hit that Noire got in terms of like pull value was the release of Recoleta, because Recoleta does more damage, easier damage than easier amount of big damage access compared to Noire. And then we got the new Euphorias, right? And so Melania Euphoria and just Melania Euphoria on 2.6, the first phase, is going to enable Recoleta to do a trillion damage without worrying too much of like, okay, now this guy has 2 negative attacks, this guy has 3, so if I use my spotlight to focus, it's not called spotlight, it's something else, I don't remember the name of the skill. If I use my check skill to photograph this guy, and then now that means that every negative status is going to go to this guy, and now I can do the ultimate after buffing myself because my crit rate is low. So I need this character, and then okay, now I'm done. Oh, let me check. Do I have all the buffs to do triple ult? I do. Okay, and then here we go. Boom. Like instead of Recoleta, it's like how many Moxie did I get? Oh, a lot. Okay, boom, 300k AOE. You know, okay, did I do enough ults? Did I do enough? Did I consume enough Moxie? Yes. Okay, here we go. By the way, here's a free AP card like Rusalka that I can just spam to 1 or 2 times very often, maybe every 2 or 3 turns. And now I'm spamming ults from characters, and then those characters also spamming their ult. I am copying their ult. I'm doing my ult as well. I am getting my buffs up. Once my buffs is up, ult, 300k damage. You know, it's getting pretty ridiculous. You can also use Pickles with this character. Sure, you're losing the part where it says that follow-up attack does more damage, but you can do that if you wanted, or you can use Shamaine Euphoria for even more Moxie. So, you know, you can also use the new Medicine Pocket Euphoria. So those characters, the Euphoria characters, if you have them already, that's a W. But if you don't have them, those are also extra pulls that you can do. So you need to be very careful on what you're doing when you are trying to pull for a team, right? I'll do a wrap up at the end of the video. So a lot of people are not really caring about Noire at the moment anymore. We were caring, and then Recoleta came out. It was like, what the fuck? She got replaced immediately. So I have a feeling that Noire might be helped in the future with other characters that do a lot of negative statuses, and maybe buff or debuff with a special debuff that do more damage when they have X amount of negative statuses that will get more value to these characters. Otherwise, everyone is just pulling Recoleta instead, right? So that is the current situation with these 2 characters. And after Recoleta, as I said before, you will get Aleph, which is the newest Impromptu character. And you really want to get him if you like Impromptu. So going back to the Impromptu, some people were theorizing maybe you don't need Voyager. It's not out yet. That's the problem. It's not out yet, so we only know on paper. If you want to know more about Aleph, I made a video about it with just his kit, so you can go check. But, you know, it's an option for you if you want to pull Impromptu. A lot of people are disappointed about him being Impromptu because they just like how it looks, and they wanted him to be like a more versatile, maybe more general use character, especially considering that it's not like a DPS, and it's not a normal Afflatus. It's a intellect. So a lot of people were saying, oh, new 6. Or maybe new whatever, you know, like, oh, global character. No, me included. No, Impromptu. Okay, why? But whatever. It doesn't really matter. People that like Impromptu are like celebrating right now. But to wrap it up, the teams now that you could go for are Impromptu, finish follow-up, get some extra power for a couple of teams, like the Jack of all trades, Liang Yue, or skip it. Finish getting the characters like Pickles if you want to play with follow-up attacks, or if you want to buff Recoleta, or if you want to play him with the follow-up attack team on Chu. pull if you like her, or if you really want to do this combo Pickles Chew for the follow-up attack team, or if you like Noire, you can pull her. Especially if you also have Anan. But you know, a lot of people consider it. A lot of people are saying like, okay, but why? Recoleta is literally doing the same easily, way more easily, and they're preferring this new one, right? Because it's easy to use. You don't have to worry about all of these negative statuses, and there is no many characters that double down on the Noire playstyle, like specifically made for her. So skip maybe skip Recoleta. That's up to you. No, Recoleta, Noire, and then if you're skipping Noire, then you're probably skipping her for Recoleta. So this is a newish team, like the ultimate focus team with these two characters, one or the other, and with depending on maybe the characters that you have with Euphoria or that you wanna get for Euphoria. If you don't have them, you can get them. That's another important thing to remember. But those characters, especially Melania, is for really good. I would dare say made for Euphoria, made for Recoleta, Melania. So keep that in mind. If you're getting Recoleta, you want to have Melania. If you have Melania, Euphoria her. If you don't have her, you need to pull her on this banner, on this Euphoria banner. So, you know, and then you finish with the new Impromptu. If you were the ones that chose Impromptu first, you finish the Impromptu with Aleph. You will see probably a screen here with like while I'm talking with what I'm saying, so it's easier to watch and easier to understand. That said, I think that's it for now. We'll come back whenever there's more characters, there's more teams that are getting like finished. That said, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you next time.